ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do an oil change on my 2021 Porsche Macan GTS. And right now I'm on my way home, as you can see. And right now I'm getting the oil up to its normal operating temperature, which is anywhere from about 196 to 200. You can see we're at 199. So we'll get home and we'll let the car sit for about 15 minutes and we'll get started. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm home and I got the car basically pulled up as flat as I can onto my driveway so we could start draining the oil. And I have the car set in its off-road mode, so it gives me a little more room to get under the car. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I just wanted to go over the tools we'll be using. So starting on the left here, we have our oil drain pan. We got some rags, an oil mat. We're going to be using Mobile One OW30 ESP. Right here we have our Porsche oil filter. It's an OEM part, along with OEM crush washer. We have our funnel with all sorts of attachments for different engines. We're going to be using a T45 socket to remove the oil drain plug. This is a 32mm socket to loosen the oil filter. We have a pick here to remove the O-ring. We also have our torque socket out, or torque wrench. And here's another ratchet. And we're going to be using some paper towels. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so we popped the hood. Here's the engine, and we're going to start by removing this plastic cover. It's just held on by some grommets, so you could just pop that off. There's like 4 of them all together, so that comes right off, and we're just going to set this aside. Okay, so now you can see the engine, and right over here is our oil filter cap. So we're going to be removing that. And right here is the place where you put the oil. So that's the oil cap. We're going to remove that. There's a lot of dirt in here, so I'm just going to blow that off so it doesn't get into the engine. Okay, so let's open up the oil cap. And we could just set that over here. And now we're going to go underneath the car. Okay, folks, so not sure if you remember my last video, but I installed this oil drain access panel. So this is going to make it real easy, so I don't have to remove all of the undercarriage. And like I said, this is, you know, you can do this every once in a while, but you do want to remove these plates every once in a while to inspect things. But anyway, this is just going to make it real easy to get access to the oil drain plug. So you can see I'm just untwisting this. And there is the oil drain plug. That's what we're going to use the T45 socket on. Okay, folks, so I just added an extender to my ratchet. And we're just going to loosen this bolt. Okay, just make sure it's nice and planted. And let's break it free. Okay. That's pretty good. And now we'll do the rest by hand. Oh, I got some oil coming out already. Oh. Should have had my mat down. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, folks, so you can see that oil is draining nice. Came out super fast. I should have had my little mat down. I guess I got cocky. But anyway, it drains nice and fast when it's hot. And we got our pressure washer and oil drain plug. Those both came off, okay? So we're gonna let this drain for a while. Okay, so while that oil's draining below, we're going to use our 32 millimeter, and we're just going to loosen the oil filter at this moment, just to make sure that we get some good flow. Okay, so we just broke the seal on that. And like I said, we're just going to loosen it. We don't want any oil flowing towards the engine here, so we just want to make sure it all flows down. Okay, so we're just going to loosen this, and I'll show you when the cap comes off. Okay, so let's get the rest of this oil filter off. It's pretty loose. Do the rest by hand. I could actually hear some of the oil still flowing down to the bottom. So we'll take our time with that just to make sure we don't get any mess. Okay, so we could take this out now. It's a little tight in here, but it's okay. And here we go, folks. So we got that out. Okay, so we got our filter out here. We're just gonna pull this out. It's always a little tough. Get a nice pull. There we go. Set that to the side. And we're gonna remove the O-ring with this pick. Just get it in there, turn it, and pull it off. So we're gonna clean this up a little bit with some rags, and we'll move forward. Okay, so we got this cap cleaned up real nice, and we have our new oil filter and O-ring, and we're just gonna get the O-ring. We gotta make sure it goes in the exact spot, which is right here. So we're gonna put that on. Make sure it's in the right spot all around. Looks good. Okay, now we'll put a little oil around the O-ring as usual. Okay, so make sure that's lubed up nice, and we'll put the filter in. Just pop the filter in. Either side is okay. Hear a nice snap. That's good. So we're ready to put that back into the engine. Okay, so here we go. I cleaned the inside of this a little bit with some paper towels, and we're just going to stick the new filter in. That's seated right. Make sure not to cross thread, but it's going in nice. Okay, we'll tighten that by hand. And then we're going to torque that. It says it right on it to 25 Newton meters. So we got our regular ratchet on here. And we're just going to tighten this until it can't go anymore. Right there. Okay, now we'll switch to the torque ratchet. Okay, so we got our torque wrench here, set to 25. Not tight at all. I did it mostly by hand, but 25. Okay, let's move on. Okay, folks, so this whole time I had the oil drain plug out. So it's been draining for a while, and not a drip, so we know that for the most part it is empty. All right, so I'm just gonna remove the oil drain pan and just take a look and clean up inside of there, and we'll get the new crush washer and oil drain plug on. Okay, so we cleaned up our drain plug, and this is the new crush washer. We inspected the drain plug. Looks good, so we're gonna reuse that. And we'll put the new crush washer on. And we're just gonna put that in. It's pretty easy. Okay, so we got that threaded on nice, and we're gonna torque this. Okay, so the torque for the drain plug is 30 Newton meters. Make sure we got that set in right. Okay, that's good. I think that's good. 30. Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to spray a little brake cleaner up there, just to get some of that oil off. That's good. And we'll just wipe that down and keep everything clean. Okay, looks pretty clean. Okay folks, so we're all zipped up downstairs and we got the oil filter cap on, and now we're gonna use our funnel to fill the car. This, from one of my previous videos, a great funnel. It's got caps that fit all cars, so I just gotta find the one that fits Porsche, which I believe is the Volkswagen one, and we're gonna start filling the oil. Okay, so we found the cap that fits. This is good for Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen. So this cap is gonna go right there, and return it. And get a nice, clean oil pour. Okay, so we attach the funnel, and what's great is it has a little filter down here, and a cap. I'm not sure why, but anyway, so let's start pouring some of the oil. So the 2021 Porsche Macan GTS takes 7.9 quarts of oil, or 7.5 liters. So I got one of the big 5-quart jugs. We're just gonna pour that whole thing in right now. This is really a great funnel. It really sucks it down. No mess. Okay, so we got 5 quarts in already. Okay folks, so we need to get another 2.9 quarts in there. You can see with my red marker, I just kind of marked where I thought that 2.9 quarts would be. Okay, so I'm gonna pretty much fill it up to there. We don't want to go over. If we go under, that's okay. We could always add more. Okay, so you can see we went right to 7.9. It's right about there. So now we're gonna start the car, check for leaks, and then of course we have to take it for a ride and check with the Porsche measurement, the electric measurement, make sure everything's okay. original oil cap back in. Yeah, got it upside down. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I think we're ready to start her up. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me over the engine, but we're going to check the oil filter. It looks good up here. And we're going to go underneath now and check that out. Okay, so we're underneath the car now. Checking for leaks. Looks pretty good to me. Doesn't appear we have any leaks. It's always good. Okay, we put back the decorative engine cover, and we're gonna go for a ride. Check the levels. Folks, we just got to put our cap back on. Okay, we're ready for a ride. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we are at the gas station, and we're going to check our oil measurement right now after we took it for a ride. Oil level is correct. All right, we are happy to see that. So that looks good, and I'm at the normal operating temperature, so it looks like we did pretty good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to thank you for watching this video on the 2021 Porsche Macan GTS oil change. Everybody drive safe. Thanks again. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Thanks.